I consider myself a hybrid nerd because I love the sell side, presenting, going out there, meeting individuals. And when I switch on to just basically the sell side, finding leads, who can I bring in for projects? And it could be just walking into a bar, downtown, happy hour, whatever the case may be. And then certain things just happen like serendipitously. So basically, you don't plan it. You just go out there, you have this mentality, this vision, you don't stress over it, you just say it, put it out in the universe, and just continue about your day. And then all of a sudden, that person might cross your path today, may cross your path in a couple of weeks, and then problems start getting solved.
Welcome to Intro Stars, the future's bright, joining connections and shining light from LinkedIn leads to
Hey, this is Mike from Intro Stars, and today we're very excited to bring you a brand new episode of the Super Connectors podcast in New York City. And for today's episode, we've got a very special guest star. We've got the one and only Nelson, who's the most connected person in the tech industry and the movie industry and brings those two things together. Nelson, so good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So Nelson, what does it sound like when you hear the words super connector? What pops into your head when you hear that?
It's a great question. A benevolent person that likes to help people.
That's a good way to put it. I think it's in our human nature to love to connect people because we feel good about ourselves when we do it. Mm-hmm. It's also about solving a puzzle. You meet two people, you want to bring them together to create magic. So in your career, you've been in the movie industry, the tech industry. How did you bring those things together? How did it happen? Tell us more.
It was by happenstance. It was quite a journey. Basically, from tech, I started a software development company in 2015, Geekable. And I had this vision of creating a video streaming platform at the time with an angle on advertisement.
Okay.
I connected with one of my friends. My friends referred me to a great friend, Ramphis Murthel of Ramphis Productions.
Yeah,
great
introduced us. Ramphis is amazing. Yeah.
Yes. And then from there, we just built such a great bond and such a great friendship that throughout that project, I was attending film events, I was attending film festivals, Soho Film Festival, et cetera, and throughout the years, we always basically connected up until 2022 when he introduced me to another friend, talk about a super connector, and from there, it just took off. That particular individual became a advisory board member on the company when we launched an app called QFlick, which was in the media and streaming space, basically allowing two people to exchange media, videos, or photos anonymously. Yeah. And from there, we got the invitation to go to Cannes Film Festival. Wow. And throughout these journeys, it wasn't by design, it was just synergies. Basically, walking through a room and just smiling and saying hi. Yeah. It always started that way. And then, how do I put it? Like a genuine curiosity, like, who are you? What do you do? And then the next notion would be, how can I help you on your journey? So throughout those questions, it's been since I was little, how I've gotten here. And it's always that genuine desire to see people succeed.
Yeah, and so when you ask that question, how can I help you? Very often the answer to that question is an introduction. Mm-hmm. Like, how can I help you? Most people say, I'm looking for a producer, I'm looking for an investor, I'm looking for a tech person, I'm looking for whatever. It's always a person, right? Mm-hmm. So most often you're looking for someone else. So if you can facilitate that introduction, by definition, you're helping people. You're a helper. Mm-hmm. And that builds your personal brand. So how do you go about building your network today? Do you still attend lots of networking events? Or is it most people coming to you, you going to them? How is that happening?
It's just basically going around invited events. It's not like particular networking events. It's just, hey, come hang out at this place that I'm hosting a party, a dinner, et cetera, et cetera. Some of them actually do start off as an event, like a book launch actually was one that in New York City where you meet all these individuals and they're not particularly aligned with that same theme of the party, but they happen to be a lawyer, they happen to be a producer or another engineer, et cetera, et cetera. And then you start feeling out the situation where it's like, these people are amazing, and how can we continue this conversation? And then from there, it'll go on levels. Is like, will it be a platonic friendship, or will it be a professional relationship where we can collaborate on a project?
And so right now, how do you connect the world of tech and IT and the world of movies and movie production? Obviously, you've got an artistic environment, a tech environment. How do these two worlds collide in your world?
So by saying questions, how can I help you was the first question at one of my friends. And during drinks, a friend of mine was like, I have this vision in the video streaming platform again. And from there, we started now a project that we're aiming to go into beta in April. So from there, just having that opportunity, once again, you start attending more events, and you start, and then it transcends also the aspect of tech, where it's like now I'm also involved with friends, like the company that I'm a CTO for, Greenlight Holdings, which is a financial consulting company in the film industry, and they basically find projects to help out in the funding, gap funding, et cetera, et cetera. And now I'm part of that as well. And I'm helping them with AI initiatives and everything else in the tech sector. Also helping them with their back-end development and all that stuff for their own company.
So now you're involved in the movie tech world, AI world, investment world, tech development world, all these things combined. What is your actual joy in all of that? Is all bringing people together, solving their problems, building apps, all of the above? Like, what is your typical day-to-day, where do you find joy in your day-to-day?
Well, I consider myself a hybrid nerd because I love the sales side, presenting, going out there, meeting individuals. And when I switch on to just basically the sales side, finding leads, who can I bring in for projects? And it could be just walking into a bar, downtown, happy hour, whatever the case may be. And then certain things just happen like serendipitously. So basically, you don't plan it. You just go out there, you have this mentality, this vision. Okay, this is my goal for not even a year. You don't put up a time frame. You just basically say, I'm going to need something. But you don't crave it. You don't stress over it. You just say it, put it out in the universe, and just continue about your day. And then all of a sudden, that person might cross your path today, may cross your path in a couple of weeks, and then problems start getting solved. And that's one side of it. Then the tech side is just basically in the trenches, 24/7, labbing out with my team. I exaggerate, it's not 24/7, I do need a little bit of sleep, but it's just that obsession of just getting that technology to work, going through the bugs, or going through basically the gamut of our methodology of how we bring products to life. And then there's the caring part, where it's just like I also mentor, so it's like I also believe in paying it forward. So I take on maybe one or two people at a time, where depending on their discipline, so if they're doing cybersecurity, I'll start curating a roadmap and then assisting them along that journey. Sales, same thing. And that's basically the whole gamut of my activities.
And in the mentorship part, do you actually mentor people on how to go out of their way to go to networking events, to build their network and become super connectors like yourself and bring people together?
Of course. And so basically, from the beginning, when I started in IT, networking events weren't that popular or even that known. And then as these things come out, they're so beneficial, because I have attended some of them. I've seen how things can just start collaborating. You start shaking hands, and you meet genuine, amazing people. Yeah. And so when I start mentoring, but even before that, before they got off the gate, I always recommend 2 books to read: Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Classic.
And then basically from there, start developing the soft skills, as they would call it. And then, okay, what network events align with your career, your field, et cetera, and then they take off.
So tell me about more the connecting. When you introduce people to each other or receive introductions, how do you monetize that? Is there some kind of referral fee that you pay out if someone introduces you to a new client, or vice versa? Do you ever get paid referral commissions? How do your monetization work in your world of tech and movies and production? Tell us more.
So it happens basically on a case-by-case basis. There are opportunities where basically if I find certain funding, I'll get a 2% finder's fee for it. Referrals, not necessarily, because once again, that part has always been just paid forward. And then as you're building certain relationships, then if my services come about like they're needed, then we'll start talking about compensation, whether timing and materials, flat fee. And then there's the whole thing about, like, basically when it comes to IT consulting, a lot of it is like pro bono at first. So it's like, okay, if somebody needs something, we start working on it. And then if they need anything further from what that engagement was, then we'll start talking about rates, et cetera, et cetera. Projects for Geekable were all about equity-based compensation. So basically, I've been blessed to be able to fund and keep the lights on the company, to be able to have that kind of relationship, because then there's no pressure. Like, I don't have to send you an invoice, et cetera, for the project. We're both in it together. We both have skin in the game. And then when we have a successful exit, everyone eats. Yeah,
so it's a win-win, right? Mm-hmm. It's always a win-win situation. So you spoke about finder's fees, sometimes applying, sometimes referral fees. Do you have any kind of tracking mechanism for that? Do you use some kind of tool to track introductions you made and received, to track them over time? Is it just spreadsheets? Is it just email?
Oh, shamefully, it's a combination of spreadsheets, napkins, my address book on my phone, and then just basically writing out like basically the contact name and then the how I met him, like or something to remind me who this person is. Because how many Mikes do we know in this world? It's like so I was like I got intro stars on your contacts, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, so that's basically my approach for now. But ultimately, when it does come to a point where we need, like in Greenlight Holdings, we are right now scoping out like a CRM for that particular business. So when we start bringing in clients or start bringing in leads or building relationships, particularly in that field, in that space, then we'll document it correctly and accurately.
Yeah, obviously having a tool which can track your introductions and track them over time can be very useful, right? And so that's what we want to help is really help millions of people track introductions so they really see the value they bring to others. And it's a two-way street. You know, they receive value, they give value. And we want to help people usher into the intro economy where it becomes normal for everyone to make introductions, for everyone to receive introductions. It's not even a question, it just happens. Like we just love to do it.
Yeah.
And everyone gets fairly compensated. It's always a win-win. That's the ultimate goal, right?
Yes, sir.
For sure. So tell us, what are you working on this year, which is really dear to your heart, and where can people follow you?
Well, okay, so we have two major projects in Geekbull, which basically one is a video stream platform like we mentioned before.
Yeah.
That one is still under wraps, and April we're going to be doing the beta launch. And then we also have another project which is a little bit under wraps because now we're applying for a UN grant. And then once everything is in its place, we're aiming to present it in the World Economic Forum in Davos.
Oh, wow.
Next year.
Very
So we
prestigious.
thank you. So we have that going on. And then the other stuff, basically to follow us, geekbull.com for my own company, my own software development company. Then we have oneglh.com, which is Greenlight Holdings, for all the films that are up and coming and everything that's coming out of our gate. And then those are the two main ones.
Fabulous. Are you still going to lots of networking events yourself? You're going to South by Southwest or any movie festivals? Is that still in your roadmap for this year?
Yes. So I'm planning to attend Cannes Film Festival and the Pajama Party, as we do that every year.
The famous pajama party?
Yes. So that's basically on my docket, but right now it's just in the trenches developing, just working the software development and then fulfilling my duties at GLH.
Cool. Well, Nelson, thank you so much for taking the time today to speak to me. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Likewise.
You know, you're obviously a superstar connecting the world of tech and movies, art and tech, which is incredible, and obviously inspiring people and mentoring people to become the next generation of creative super connectors. So thank you so much. Keep on doing what you're doing. And I hope one day to be invited to that pajama party in Cannes. That would be cool.
I'll make some calls.
Thanks, Nelson. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, you can also become a super connector yourself or join our community of super connectors on introstars.com.
Welcome to Intro Stars, the future's bright. Joining connections and shining light. From LinkedIn leads to steady deals. Opening doors, finding awesome